Hi kids! This week has just flown past. It has been great fun visiting Johnny Kingdom each day and then spending each afternoon with you. So here we are on the last day of our amazing African animal adventure afternoon. I am Koa signing in to be your co-host today. We have our usual lineup, but be careful. There may be something quite unusual.
I am Naeema and Koa. It has been a pleasure hosting Amazing African Animal Adventure Afternoon. We trust that you have felt welcome each step of the way as we've gone on our adventure together.
I don't think I can decide which part has been my favorite. It's all been fun.
Pastor Shirley, what animal have you chosen today? I was hoping for a wildebeest or a crocodile. So what are you going to share?
Hi there, boys and girls. This is our last day together, but we still have some wonderful things to share with you. And today we're going to learn about the rhinoceros. So what do you know about the rhinoceros? Or, as we like to call him, the rhino. We know a few facts about rhinos, but here's one I hope that will surprise you. The rhino, or rhinoceros, is the second largest land mammal after the elephant. There are 5 species, 2 of which are found in Africa. Rhinos have very poor eyesight. They may rarely hang out with each other, but they do spend a lot of time with their feathered friends. Rhinos are often seen with oxpeckers or tick birds perched on their back, which live off the pesky parasitic insects like ticks living in the rhino's thick skin. The birds' loud cries help alert their big buddies also of potential danger. Because of sin, we are a lot like rhinos. We have the parasite of sin living on our bodies. We can't free ourselves from our sin. We need help. But just like the rhino needs help from the oxpeckers to get rid of the parasites, so we need Jesus to save us. John 3:16 reminds us that God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. Anyone who believes in him will not die, but will have eternal life. Jesus saved us by dying on the cross to take the punishment for our sins. He is the only one who could do this. If a rhinoceros does not accept the help that the oxpecker gives, it will suffer. In the same way, Jesus offers us the help we need. If we want to be saved, we must accept Jesus' help, his gift of forgiveness and healing from sin. I want you to always remember that, boys and girls. It's been such a treat for me to be with you every day this week. And I want you to remember when you look at your sheets every day for each of the days that you receive them, that on your sheet is the Bible verse that we talked about. So go over that Bible verse and remind yourself how much Jesus gave you so that you can accept his gift of eternal life. God bless you, boys and girls. Thank you for listening so carefully each day. Bye.
Thank you, Pastor Shirley, for sharing how the rhinoceros reminds us that it really needs oxpeckers to get rid of all those awful, blood-sucking ticks and other parasites. Likewise, it's so important that we accept Jesus' help and forgiveness.
I want to accept Jesus' help so I can be saved. It's not every day that I see a rhino and an oxpecker, but I do have 3D animals that have received each day to remind me of what I've learned this week.
Take out your supplies. A paper, pencil, a pen, or a black marker. By now, you know what they are.
Welcome back, kids, to another session of animal drawing, and this is going to be our last one. We are going to be drawing the rhino. I have my pencil and my pen and eraser and paper, so let's get started. So this is going to be probably our most complicated animal, which is perfect for the ending because we're going to be using all the skills that we've learned so far to draw this. So we're going to start with the line at the very bottom, and then we're going just above it, and we're going to be drawing a big round oval, just like we did with the elephant, but this time just a little bit smaller. So just a little bit above the ground, we're going to be drawing a nice big oval right in the middle of our paper. Just like that, keeping it a bit smaller than the elephant. And there's our body. And now we're going to be doing the back legs. Now, instead of drawing the legs inside the oval, we're actually going to be putting them at the very back of the oval. So, starting with an oval right at the very back of the rhino, we're going to be drawing an oval just like that. Right there. And then from that oval right there, we're going to be drawing a little triangle underneath it. So starting back here at the very back of the oval, we're going to be doing a straight line down. Actually, this needs to be a little bigger than that. All right. So starting from the back and the bottom of the oval, we're going to be doing a straight line down, pretty close to straight, angling just a little bit. And then from the front, we're going to be drawing another line back to the back to make a triangle. And then right below that, we are going to be drawing a circle, just like that. And then from there, we are going to be drawing another triangle. This time the front is going to be straight down, just like that, stopping a little bit above the bottom. And then the back line is going to be an angle to the back of the circle, just like that. And then from there, from the bottom of the triangle, we're going to be drawing two lines coming out to make another little triangle here at the bottom. And then like with the elephant, we're going to be drawing a little curve here at the bottom, and same with the back. Just rounding the bottom off a little bit. And now we're going to smooth everything out. So we have this coming in front. You have the big belly coming in front of the leg. And then we're going to smooth this out. Now rhinos have really stocky legs, so we're going to keep it nice and big. Going from this circle up to the oval with a nice little curve. And then following it down, meeting with that right there. Meeting with the bottom triangle, just like that. And now on the triangle, we are going to, at the bottom, well, with the foot, we're going to be drawing two bumps here and here. And then we're going to be drawing another one right next to it right there, which is kind of hard to see, but I'll erase it like that. So two little bumps right here, and then one little one connecting to the front of the foot, just like that. And now we're going to be drawing the other leg. And we're going to be following the same exact process as this foot right here. Just moving it a little more forward. So starting with an oval, right about here. Same size and shape as this first oval over here. Right over here. Just moving it a little to the left. And then just like before, we're going to be drawing a line almost straight down from the back of that oval. And then connecting it up with another straight line to the front of the oval. Then at the bottom of that, we're going to draw another circle right there like that. And then from the circle, we're going to go down with a straight line. And then from the back of the circle, another straight line at an angle. Feel free to pause at any time if you need to go a little slower. That's okay. All right, now just like with this one over here, with this foot, we're going to be doing a line coming out at the bottom of the triangle at an angle, and then one coming back at an angle, which will make a triangle on the very bottom line. And now we're going to smooth everything out. So we're going to be rounding off the bottom corners of this triangle at the bottom, just like that. And then we're going to be smoothing everything out, just like that. And then on the back here, we're going to have a nice little curve. Down here, we're just going to widen this ankle bit up a bit, just like that. And there we go. And now, like this one here, we're going to be drawing 2 bumps in the front. Well, this one has 3, but this one's going to have 3, and this one's going to have 2, because we're only going to be able to see 2 of them. So we're going to do one little bump here in the front, and then one next to it right there. Just like that. And there are our back legs done. Now time for our front legs. So, like with the back legs, we're going to start with an oval. This time, we're going to be coming up a bit. So starting with an oval about the same size and shape as these ones back here, we're going to move it up just a little bit above the front of the big body oval, like that. Right there. Just like that. And now from there, from the very bottom of this oval right here that we just drew, we're going to be drawing a triangle coming down to about the same height as these down here. Just like that, and then going back up to meet with the oval, just like that. And then at the bottom of this triangle, we're going to be drawing a big oval, just like that. Not too big, but a little wider than these circles back here. And then from there, we're going to go just a little bit below the oval, and we're going to draw another triangle coming down, stopping just a little bit above the bottom line. And then from that triangle, we are going to be drawing a line coming out on both sides at an angle to make another triangle down here. All right, and then from there, we're going to round it out. I'll make it a little taller. Just like that. And then I'm going to smooth everything out, keeping the ankles nice and big. And then we want to keep these bumps here, just like that. And then from there, we're going to go up and meet up here at the top with basically just straight lines, just like that. Down here is going to have a bit of a curve right there, and then basically a straight line. And then just going to clean that up a bit, because like this foot back here, we're going to do 1 bump and 2 bumps. And then from that first bump, we're going to draw a 3rd bump right there. Just like that. And there is our first front leg completed. And now the second one is going to be very easy because all we're going to do is just simply copy this line right here. So following just next to it right here, we're just going to follow this line down. So we're going to go straight down, around the bump, like that, down again, and then a little bump off the back, just like that. You are just following this line right here, but moving it to the side a little bit, just like that. Really easy peasy. All right, now we are going to draw the head. So the head is a little weird on a rhino. So right next to this shoulder, his shoulder right here, which is this oval right here, we're going to draw another oval. This time a little skinnier and a little shorter. So right next to it, if we went for the middle, starting at the middle of it, going out, we're going to start this oval right here. And we're going to go up just a bit past it. Just like that. And then starting at the same spot, we're going to be drawing another oval, but coming out this way. Instead of going up, we're going to go to the left. So we're going to draw another oval about the same size as this one right here. Just like that. And there we go. And then from there, we are going to smooth it out. So starting at the top of this flat oval right here, we're going to draw a curve up to the top of this tall oval, up and over the top oval, and down to the back, just like that. Going from here, up and over and down. And then on the bottom, we're just going to smooth this out a little bit. And we're going to bring it down a bit, just like that, to make his neck. Just right there. All right, and then we will draw his face. So let's start with his ears up here. The ears are actually going to be at the top of this tall oval right here. So we're going to do like we did before with some of our animals before, and we're just going to draw a triangle. So we're going to draw a line straight up and back. And then with this one, we're going to have his ear coming off this way a little bit. So we're going to draw a line out like that and then coming back like that. And now we're just going to round out his ears a little bit because they're not that pointy. And then on this one right here, I'm going to draw a little curved line right there. Just like that. And there are his ears done. Now we're going to draw his face. So we're going to start with his eye right about here. We're going to draw a little curve and then a dot in the middle. Just like that. And then let's draw his horns. So starting at the front and middle of this oval. Now it's for the best part. We're going to draw a nice big curve coming up, like a kind of flatter C shape. Just like that. And you can make the horn as big as you want or as small as you want. Either way, it'll look great. And then from the point, you're going to come back down. Just like that. Making a nice big horn. Or a short horn if you want to make it short. And then we're going to draw a second horn right behind it. So like before, we're going to draw a little curve coming up, and this one's going to be a bit smaller than the first one. Just like that. And then starting from the point, we're going to come back down to his head. Just like that. And there we go, we have his big horns. And now the last little bits, we're just going to add a nice little smile right here. And then we're going to add his little nostril right there. And at the base of this big horn, we're just going to add a little curve right there. Just like that, where it connects to his face. Just like that. All right, now last little bits, we're just going to add his back and his tail, and then we'll be done. So right at this oval right here, right there, right where that meets to the first big oval, right in this little pocket right here, we're going to add a little circle right there. Because rhinos have a little bump right there. So we're just going to draw a little circle, and then we'll draw his back. So starting from where we finished off with the neck over here, we're just going to make a little swoop going up to that bump. Just like that. And then from that bump, we're going to go basically straight down to this back oval right here. Just like that. So we have this little bump right here, and then go straight back to that oval. And there's his back. Just like that. And then we're going to finish off with the tail. Coming from this straight line back, we're just going to continue it back a little bit in a nice curved shape coming down. And then we're going to start again a little bit below that and make another curved line connecting at the bottom. Then we're going to draw a little upside down tear shape. This one's just going to be a little small one. And there we go. Our sketch is all done. Now it's time for the pen. So, just like we did with all the rest of the animals, we are only going to be going around the outline with a few exceptions. So I'm going to start with the horn for this one because it's just so cool. I'm going to go around that little bump right there, little curve, and down to his mouth. He's nice and happy. And then we're actually going to continue around that circle just a little bit to make his jaw. And then I'm going to go down the back side of the horn, up and over. Feel free to pause at any time while you're working on this if you want to take a little more time with the outlining. And then I'm going to do his little nose, his little eye, and then actually I'll go down here. I'm going to do the bottom of his neck. And then I'm going to draw some little wrinkles coming up from the bottom of his neck. Because rhinos have a lot of wrinkles. And then with this big oval right here for a shoulder, I'm actually going to follow a little bit of it. Because they have these really big shoulders right here. So I'm just going to go around the sides of it. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to draw a little line coming across. And then onto his leg. And then around the bump, down to his foot. And back up around. And then I'm going to draw his little toes. And then I'm going to do his big belly. The other leg. And this one you can't see any little toes, so we're not going to bother with those. Now time for his back legs. Only going around the outline for his back legs. To his little toes. And then this one. Just like that. little toes, and there we go. Now I'm going to go up and around to his back, right here where we have his little bump, and back up to his neck, going over that bump. Then I'm going to do his little ears, just like that. And here at the top of his neck, he has some wrinkles here too. So I'm just going to draw some of those. Just like that. And then I'm going to draw his little tail. And draw little strokes. And there we go. We're all done with outlining it. And now we're just going to take our eraser and erase all pencil marks. Just like we did with all the rest of our animals. Feel free to take your time and pause if you want. Just so you can get all your eraser out. All right, brush away all the little bits. And there you have your finished rhino. And our last thing is we're going to sign it. And there we are. I hope you guys had a fun camp meeting and learned a lot. And yeah, enjoy. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun with drawing some animals.
That was tremendous fun. You made it so easy for us to draw a rhino. Who would have thought? Thank you for spending time hanging out with us every day this week.
Buckle up and get ready for a wild ride. Hold tight. This is going to be exciting.
It's been fun not only meeting the animals, but listening to the trainers describe animals that they take care of every day. Today we are going to visit them one last time, unless you have the opportunity to visit them in person. Hang on to your Jeep, and whenever you do, don't get out of your vehicle.
Hi, my name is Robert. These are our two rhinos. This is Taryn right here, and this is Coyote on the far side. I'm going to do a quick training session with them, and then I'll talk a little more about them. Hey, Taryn. Target. Good. There, light. Good. Light. Slide. So for Taryn, we do target, which is she'll touch the base of her horn to this target pole here. And that's good for her because we can kind of tell her where to put her head in the enclosure. So we're trying to, if we're trying to see a certain part of her, so she has a scratch on her side, it's kind of helpful for us to kind of be able to move her that way. And kind of just tell her where we can put her nose. We do another behavior called light, and that's where we'll flash a flashlight in her eye. She has one eye that we're kind of thinking she doesn't see as well out of, so she's an older girl, so we like to try to see if we can check that out and see if there's anything we can do for her. So we have vet staff come and visit, and we'll have that behavior where she'll put her chin up on the bars, and I can shine a light in her eye, and they can get a little bit of a closer look at that. We're going to move right over here. Ready? See what you'll do for us. Move here. Good. Good. Light up. Good boy. You give him a little break to eat. So Coyote is a little bit younger. He likes training a little bit more, so we have a couple more behaviors for him. So he'll line up, and that kind of helps us get a little bit closer to him. And usually we'll reward him, we'll give him a little treat just so he can sit and eat that. And we'll wait for him to finish before doing something else. Ready? Wait. Ready? Foot. Good boy. Good. Good boy. So for Coyote, we have this cool foot block here. So what this does is allows him to put his foot all the way up. This gives him a rest for his ankle, and that way it can kind of rest there. This kind of helps us if we need to do footwork on him, if he needs a hoof trim or anything like that. It also kind of helps us get paintings for him. So one day we'll be able to get footprints, but right now we have rhino skin prints, and those we set up in our gift shop. Those we'll do kind of on his shoulder while he's lined up for us. So Coyote does kind of that, and he'll do chin behavior as well, where he'll put his chin up on the bar. He also does target, but he was doing so well with his other stuff, I figured he could get an early break and just kind of eat his breakfast here. So Coyote's he's turning 8 this year, and Taryn just turned 30 this year. So there's a big age difference in them. Taryn's been here a long, long time, so Coyote was kind of brought in just kind of as a friend for her. So they're just kind of an exhibit pair. They don't really, they're not a breeding pair. So we would need at least 3 rhinos for our rhinos to breed, and that would it would usually be in a grouping of 1 male and 2 females. And for some reason, they don't really breed outside of that. Taryn's probably a little too old to have a calf right now, so she just kind of needed a buddy to hang out with. So if you've ever been to the drive-thru, you'll see them. They come in here in the morning, and we feed them this grain breakfast, which is kind of it's pretty well formulated for them. And then once they're done eating, then they go out in the drive-thru, and they'll hang out in the grass, go eat some hay, kind of do whatever they want to do. These guys are southern white rhinos, so they eat. They're considered grazers, so what that means is they'll eat a lot of grass. Mostly, they use their lips, which I'm not sure. He's got about a bad angle right now, but his mouth is pretty wide. And so what they do is they'll pluck the grass with those lips of theirs. They're pretty firm, so they have a lot of control over them. And that kind of helps them get their food into them as quick as possible. So hay, we have hay for them just in case the grass isn't growing that well, and that way they get plenty of food either way. The hay we use is
Oh, you're fine.
We use this kind of hay. It's considered green grass hay. So we get these giant bales, like weigh over 1,000 pounds, and that's we'll fill their hay cages with those, and they usually like that. So they can get up to about 5,000 pounds. It's a pretty good size. Coyote is almost full grown. The difference, Taryn's a little bit bigger right now just because she is a little bit older, but after he's full grown, he'll be a little bit larger than her.
And did you say how much they weighed?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
about 5,000.
5,000 pounds.
Yeah, so he might weigh a little bit more once he's fully grown. So another cool feature for them is their ears. So they kind of have those little satellite ears. You can see his are going back and forth. So that they can hear a very long distance away. They can hear before they can see you. And the ears moving back and forth like that kind of does act like a satellite dish. It helps the sound waves kind of go into it, depending on which way they're facing, and they can aim them in any direction they need to. And since they rely on those a lot, they will be moving them constantly when they're paying attention to what's around them. They also have a really good sense of smell, so they can smell you before they can see you as well. They can only see about 50 yards, and it's very blurry, so they're very, very nearsighted. So they can see us when we're standing here, but in something in the distance, they would be able to see it as well. It would be very blurry to them. So they rely much more on their ears and nose. You can also tell between these two the difference in their horn size. So our male here has a much shorter, broader horn, and the female has a much larger horn. So the reason for that is that males generally in the wild will spar with each other more. So they will actually file their own horns down like that. They rub them on rocks and just different things. They kind of have a rock texture to give them that. They're tossing their hair like that. I see he's getting impatient. So the females will basically use their horns just for defending their young. So the reason they have those long pointed horns is that's a little more of a weapon for them, just in case they need it, but they won't be using it as often as the males.
And are they an endangered species?
So these guys there's a species of the northern, called northern white rhino that is essentially extinct in the wild. These guys are doing a little bit better, but not quite. They're poached for that big horn of theirs. So that's sold on the black market actually. And so poachers are very interested in it because it is worth a lot of money, which is unfortunate for them in the wild because as they're hunted for that, that kind of puts them in danger in the wild and their numbers are declining. There's other species of rhino as well. There's black rhino, and then the Indian rhinos are another different type. So the black rhinos, they're a little bit different because their noses kind of go into a point. In their mouths, they have what's called a prehensile lip, and that allows them to eat leaves. So what they do with that is it's just kind of, whereas these guys have the flat face, the black rhinos have this little lip that they can have pretty good control over. And then the Indian rhinos will eat mostly leaves and browse and different kinds of fruits and stuff. And that makes up most of their diet. For these guys, their name is the white rhino, but they're actually, obviously, as you can see, they're gray. So that name is actually a mispronunciation. And they're actually supposed to be the wide rhino because their lips are wide, but when it was communicated over, people thought that it was white rhino.
And I guess one last question. What can kids do, if anything, to help rhinos?
So for rhinos specifically, it's a little bit difficult, but I'm not really sure there's much you can do, but just kind of don't buy anything off the black market, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess learning more about them too and visiting wildlife safari also supports all of our rhinos as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we always we have conservation projects that we donate to as a park. And so visiting us and helping donate to those projects really turns out to help a lot of our endangered animals in the wild.
Awesome.
All righty.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, Zookeeper Robert.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being interested in our rhinos and coming to check them out with us this morning.
I've learned so much more about God's amazing rhinos today.
And now for one last treat, written for us especially by Pastor Dick, our story writer. Today's story is about Kafiro, the rhinoceros. Thank you, Pastor Dick and Brent and the team, and our special voices.
Hello, Rachel and Adam. Are you ready to go on a safari?
Ready.
Today you will meet one of the happiest animals in the bush.
A leopard?
Or maybe a cheetah. Cheetahs always look like they're smiling.
Nope. Today's special safari guest is Kifaru, a giant rhinoceros.
Wow! I love to see a rhino.
Why is Kafaru so happy?
Kifaru's happy because he and his whole rhino family have just been moved to a new home in the bush, a place where they will all be safe from their enemies.
How can rhinos have enemies? They are so huge. What could hurt them?
I saw something on TV once that showed a rhino was about the same size as my dad's Ford pickup truck.
And they weigh about the same as his truck, 5,000 pounds. How could anything hurt them?
Unfortunately, even though they're safe from other animals, they're not safe from people. People hurt them.
Why do people hurt them?
The Creator gave rhinos great, big, strong, long horns that come right up out the top of their nose. Let me see if Kafaru is ready to show you his horns.
Hello, everybody. Ranger Tracy tells me that you were asking about my horns. Do you like them?
Ooh. Ah.
There used to be thousands and thousands of rhinos in Africa and India, but now there are only a few.
That's terrible. What happened to them?
Let me try to answer your question, Rachel. Many people believe that if they can get a rhino horn, ground it into powder, and make it into a medicine, it will cure cancer. To get the horns, they kill the rhinos.
That's terrible. But wait, does a rhino horn cure cancer?
No, Adam. A rhino horn does not cure anything.
Then why do people kill them to get their horns?
Sometimes people don't listen. They just do what they want, even though it hurts others.
Not all people are bad. Some of them understand and love us, horns and all. They protect us from the bad people.
And a group of these people have started a helper group for rhinos. It's called Kifaru Rising.
What they do, it starts out really frightening to me and my rhino friends. They find us in the bush and give us a medicine that makes us sleep. And then they move us to brand new bush homes where we will be safe and protected.
You're so heavy. How did they get you to your new home?
In helicopters! When we're asleep, they wrap us up in the helicopter, under the helicopter, and the helicopter carries us way out over the bush and the trees to our new home.
I saw a picture of that one time. It looks like a scary ride.
Oh, I'm glad they let us sleep all the way. I think I would get very sick if I looked down.
How do you know you're safe in your new home?
I bet the Kafaru's Rising people put guards around the bush so none of the bad people can get in.
Guards with guns?
Lots of guards and lots of guns. And they have become our friends. One of them is an animal doctor named Dr. Jack. He even stayed with me all night one time when I was sick. He was right beside me. He sang bush songs all night long. He has a terrible voice, but I was happy.
If bad people come, they usually slip in at night. So the Kafaru Rising people have given the guards night vision goggles so they can see in the dark. That helps them catch the bad people and protect the rhinos.
Wow, these really help me see better.
Kifaru, what do you do in your new bush home?
Oh, I do what rhinos always do. I sleep a lot. When I am awake, I eat grass and stuff. I like lilies and other plants that grow where the land is muddy. I get down in the mud. I wallow around for hours. We rhinos love living where there's lots of deep, muddy water.
The other animals must be happy that you helped them make their water holes bigger and deeper.
And cleaner too.
And when I get really dirty and muddy, my oxpecker bird friends sit on my back and they eat the grubs from the mud. They help me clean up.
When the Kafaru rising people move a rhino family, they carry a whole herd to the new home. Usually, that's about 200 rhinos, mothers, fathers, teenagers, and babies. They also make sure that the new home has lots of good rhino food, places to make water holes, and many other animals to be their friends.
If someone cuts off your horn, will it grow again?
Yes, but very slowly. It takes 3 years for me to grow a horn like this one.
Kifaru makes his horn just like you and I make fingernails. Slow to grow, but hard and strong when they're there.
Ranger Tracy, you told us that the rhinos are the happiest animal in the bush. But weren't they also the most frightened before the Kafaru people helped them?
That's right, Rachel. That's kind of the way Jesus takes care of people. When he sees that we're scared or angry or hurt or in danger, he moves right in close and makes sure we're safe.
It's been fun talking to you, but your place is very hot. I need to go back and wallow in the mud and cool off.
Thanks, Kafaru.
Bye, Kafaru.
Bye, Kafaru.
Bye, kids.
Can we go on more safaris with you sometime, Ranger Tracy?
Yes, please. There's so many other animals I would like to meet. Monkeys, antelope, and buffaloes.
And grizzly bears.
We'll travel together again. I especially want to introduce you to my donkey friend, Puzzle.
A donkey?
Wow!
It's wonderful that people like the Kafaru Rising Organization are doing their best to save the rhino. Jesus has done all that needs to be done to save us. I want to say yes to Jesus today, and I want to be a joyful, happy Christian because Jesus has saved me. Dear Jesus, thank you for loving us and saving us. And thank you for all the kids who are watching, and help them to accept your love. Amen. Well, thanks for joining us.
Bye!